Thank you for joining me today, Joy Fairhall. Joy Fairhall is a workshop facilitator at the Holistic Business Hub's first birthday party. Now, Joy is awesome. When life throws a curveball, Joy Fairhall is the person you want in your corner. As the founder of Mind Body Joy, she brings personal insight and professional expertise to help find the positive perspective to overcome and manage a life-changing event. As a sought-after speaker, Joy brings her vast range of skills, expertise, and her own personal life experiences to connect, support, and guide with every audience, enabling them to understand their unique mind and body and joy link. Her connection to the audience, no matter the size, feels intimate and nurturing. She will make them laugh, connect to them, and create aha moments in a way that is truly unique. Welcome so much, Joy.
Hi, Anna. Thank you. What an introduction.
It's a beautiful bio and all of it is true.
I'm so excited to be joining you.
I'm excited to have you. So Joy's workshop is called The Joy of Business, and I'm going to ask Joy a couple of interesting questions. So first of all, what I would love to know, Joy, is what are the problems that your clients or your audience face before they come to you?
Yeah, well, in particular for the business side is that they often have a fear of failure or fear of not being able to succeed in business. Even if they have been in business for a while, if there's been something in the past, that can tend to be an unconscious block. So consciously they're determined, they've got their plans, but there's always just that something there that niggles at them and they just feel a little insecure or not quite sure of themselves. So often just through a focus session with them, we just discuss what happened in the past and really the fact around it, not their belief. So their belief is very different to fact. When you look back, they say hindsight's a wonderful thing. So we look back in it in hindsight, but looking at it through the lens of who they are today and not who they were then. So it really then allows them to move forward and achieve what they want in business and personally as well.
Right. And I guess this kind of leads a bit to what is your idea. What is the solution that you provide people that are stuck with that fear of, failure or fear of not being able to achieve what they're out there to achieve? How do you help them?
Yeah, look, there are so many different ways. That really what I've mentioned before, what is belief and what is fact? So for an example, if you're a child at school and you remember getting a F for maths and the teacher threw it down and gave you a look, that may become a belief that you're stupid in maths. Whereas the fact was that you just got an F and the teacher just looked at you. However, that may have come through your childhood, through adult, where you then believe you're stupid in maths. And so it's really just looking back at whatever it is that's causing that fear and teasing out what is fact and what is a belief and then working through that. So, quite often beliefs are not facts. So that's what we tend to look at. Is it really a belief or is it a fact? And if it is a fact, how do we then make it a simplistic goal to get where you want to be?
That's amazing. I remember the first time I covered this within my own life. I was working with a mindset coach and mindfulness coach, and she said to me, it's really interesting. Imagine you went for a really long run and you get home and you're so tired and you're saying to yourself, there is no way that I could run any further. And then a person approaches you with a knife. You're going to get up and you're going to run. And
exactly.
Beliefs aren't facts, and we tend to so much connect. And I think it's so important to remember that and to have somebody teach us, but remind us of that all the time, because those niggly beliefs always just be able to sneak back up on you. So it is.
They tend to weigh down, and once you go, well, actually, look at where you are now, what you've done in that time, and they're like, well, yeah, actually, I'm not that 6-year-old or 10-year-old anymore. And yeah, that's why personal trainers go, now do 10, now do another 2.
And I always want to punch them.
Yeah, but you do it.
But you do it. Surprisingly, you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, the other question I have is I'd love to hear some research out there in the marketplace, or maybe a case study that really shows how this is, relevant in the world today and how this can play out for people.
Yeah, so I've done quite a few qualifications and certifications, but the one that I really base all my work on is positive psychology. So positive psychology looks at what's right in your life rather than the standard psychology of looking at the deficit, what's wrong. So looking at what you're actually doing right rather than what you're not doing or what you want to achieve at the moment, actually with the mind, it actually starts to believe that. So what the mind focuses on, the mind gets. We hear that all the time. But the mind is a very tricky thing, but it's quite simple. So even if I say to you right now, don't think of a cute white puppy, what do?
Think of a cute
cute white puppy. So you don't actually have to have that cute white puppy. You immediately associate with it. And obviously any feelings that come with that. So by using positive psychology in research, it's shown that the more you focus on things, the mind believes it's there already. And this is where manifestation comes into. However, we put in practical guidelines and practical goals, and really, I'm very simplistic. I don't put in 12-month plan. We do a week or a day, depending on the person's position. So research shows that the more you look at positive things, you associate those positive, you release the dopamine, the endorphins, it feels good, and you achieve more. And that is research backed by years and years and years of research. So that's pretty much the principle behind it. So if you really believe that you can do something, if you do it a little bit at a time and you achieve that, it becomes easier and easier, similar to the gratitude and loving feelings and that. The more you feel good, the more you'll achieve.
That's really refreshing to hear. The other thing I'd love to know is, you're talking on the joy of business, and I'd love to know what would be the top 3 points that you'll be covering in your workshop.
Yeah, so the 3 things that I'm basing mine on is, does your personal life affect your business life, and vice versa? And if you're struggling or have a challenge in one, does that affect you, and vice versa? So if you've got emotional things happening at home, or you're unhappy at home, then it's going to affect your productivity, your goals, and your focus of business. And vice versa, if you're not working in what you want to be doing in business, if it's not your passion, if it's not your love, or it's not serving a purpose, then you're going to struggle. You're not going to find it easy and enjoyable. So I'll be looking at how those 2 link. I'll be also doing, because my presentations are fun. I don't have PowerPoint. We actually get up and do things, because there's nothing like actually doing something to experience it quickly. Then we're going to do a 3-minute technique that I've got that gets you to focus really quickly. So we can't all go to a retreat in the middle of a really stressful meeting. We can't sit down there and do a meditation when we're really stressed. So I'm going to give them so everyone will get a quick method. We'll do that, and I'll show them how to de-stress really quickly, which then in turn brings back clarity and focus and productivity. And then the last one is really about getting around those people who go, I hate work. I don't want to be here. It pays my bills. So looking at what that is doing for your future goal. So you might not like work, but is it serving a purpose that you can save up to do what you want to do? So again, looking at what you have in life rather than the deficit. So we'll be looking at that, but it's a fun, and we get out some toys and stuff. So it's not like a boring business where you have to sit there in a suit and everything, because fun and positive and happiness really makes things easy to learn. So they're the 3 top things I'll be looking at.
You've just made it really exciting. I'm like, oh, we have toys and games and getting up and doing stuff. I'm excited. I'll be there. So I think it'll be awesome.
And it's not embarrassing toys.
Yeah, it was when you said toys, I was like, uh-huh. I trust you completely, Joy. Now, one thing I'd love to know, some people potentially might not be able to make this workshop. I hope that they do, but if they can't and they're watching this interview, I'd love you to share one specific tip about what you teach that people can take away and implement right now to make a difference in their lives today.
Yes. Well, the one tip is to just tap in what really fills your heart with joy, not me. What absolutely fills your heart with love and happiness. You know, it might be a partner, might be your children, might be your dog. And if you find that you're getting stressed or overwhelmed in day-to-day life, close your eyes for a couple of minutes and think of that white puppy dog or your children or the person that just fills you completely with joy and happiness. And you will notice immediately how your breathing calms down, your mind calms down. It's very much like a mindfulness technique. But the more you think about what brings you joy and fills your heart with joy, the more you end up riding out the bumps in life. Instead of spiking up, down, angry, 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 you start to just immediately go, close my eyes, think of something beautiful. You take a breath and it's like a reset. So use that technique, fill your heart with joy, with whatever brings you joy, even for a couple of minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and you'll notice a difference.
Thank you for saying dog. My mum's got a dog. His name is Archie, and literally, I don't think anything brings me more joy than thinking about him. He's just such a happy animal. They're just like every time I need like a reset, I go, oh, Archie.
I know, look at your face, and you look. Yeah. If anyone's looking at this interview, Anna went from asking me a serious question. I talked about joy. Look at the smile. Look at the eyes. That's the perfect example of how quick it is to just do that. And I want everyone to have a joyful life. Life's too short.
So true. You know, Joy, it's really interesting. We like talking about business, and we know of you, Joy, as the person who's the founder of Mind, Body, Joy, and, you know, your personal and professional insights. But people want to know who Joy is. So what I would love to know is if you could pick any holiday destination, where would you go?
I love Australia. I really love Outback Australia. So my happy place is with my soul half, my hand in his, and my feet all fully submerged in water in an outback gorge. Doesn't matter where it is, in the middle of nowhere, no one else around. Water, my soul half, and my hand in his. Perfect.
Oh, painted the most beautiful picture. It's like a romance comedy movie. Like, yeah, that's in. And then the credits would roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. I've got one more question. I think this one's really important, especially in the world that we live in today. I'd love to know what it is that you, Joy, do for yourself to really recharge and reboot.
Yeah, well, I work with people who are going through really serious stuff. So people who've been diagnosed with chronic illness and life-changing chronic illness, and people who've lost people and their pets. So grief is not just about people. It can be pets, it can be relationship or situations. So for me, it's quite a heavy job, but I find it quite light because I know I can help them. But for myself, I am a water baby. You put me anywhere where I've got my feet in the water or completely in the water, I am just in bliss. So I have a life-work balance where I go down regularly to the beach, and I don't have an iPod, I don't have music, as long as I'm standing in the waves. Doesn't matter if it's winter, raining, sunshine, whatever. As long as I've got my feet in the water, I can just look out at the horizon and just be. And that is where I love.
Recharging. Do you like the bathtub?
I'm not a big bath person. I don't like to, it's funny, I make bath soaps because I sell products
Yeah.
that I make, but I'm not a big bath person. I love ocean or river.
Awesome.
Yeah, the nature water.
I'm with you on that. I love standing in water, especially at like sunset, watching the horizon and the sunset. But I don't like baths. So I was like, I wonder if she likes baths. So I thought I'd just ask.
Yeah, I love making products for baths.
Yeah.
People, but I'm not a big bath person myself. I can't sit still long enough. But
Yeah.
put me in the water and I can stand there for hours.
Yeah. Oh, it's so lovely to get to know a little bit more about you, a bit more about the joy of business, your workshop, and really delve into what it is that you do. So thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you, and thank you again for the honour of being able to celebrate with you. And I really just want to say thank you for supporting the big cause one, or whatever it is, for the women who are going to get 20. Thank you very much. Who are going to get 20 hours of business training. I just think that shows your value and your heart, and should be called out that you are doing that to help those women. So congratulations on that.
Thanks, Joy. I believe that one of the best things that we can give to people is the opportunity to be able to help themselves. And so that was why I chose that as my give back.
Yeah, beautiful.
So there you have it. Joy Fairhall will be running the Joy of Business workshop at the Holistic Business Hub's first birthday party mini festival of events. Her session is on Thursday, the 28th of March at 4 p.m. So we'll hope to see you there.
Thank you.